and 13, the rematch from DreamHack Summer.
Ooh.
As we have these two players going head to head. In the top left of Belshir Vestige, it is none other than My Insanity Stardust. We'll see if he can get that back-to-back title as he goes up against this guy.
Well, this guy, Apollo, this guy is the greatest Zerg of StarCraft 1, trying to become that again in StarCraft 2. Give it up for Jaedong.
Do you know what I think is really powerful, what Jaedong didn't do?
What is that?
Is, you know, when they're on stage and he said adios.
Yes.
You know, that's a little bit of fun and games on stage. But when we saw Stardust in-game type, good game, good luck, and adios back, Jaedong said nothing. No reply whatsoever.
I am not surprised. And just to go over why I'm not surprised here, it is actually the rules in Korea that you can't type during the game. Or it was, at least in StarCraft 1. So he's used to that. And he's the most focused player. He actually just repeats to himself in-game, or he used to at least in StarCraft 1, I'm going to kill him. I'm going to kill him. I'm going to kill him. And, you know, he's perhaps the most focused, cold-faced player. And if you don't believe me and you're sitting in the audience, just look in the booth at any time during the game and you look exactly the same, angry.
And if he can translate that emotion over into this game, then he may be going to the final again.
Yeah.
This time his chances are a lot higher if he gets past this semi-final. His Zerg vs. Zerg is at a 90% win rate at this point, and he would be playing that in the grand finals here at Valencia. But he does have a task ahead of him. Let's talk about these two styles, though. We know exactly, or at least we can kind of predict the styles that we're going to be seeing. Stardust, very aggressive. And Jaedong's going to have to deal with that.
Yeah. Well, how well will he deal with it is the real question here. Because he's played against Stardust before, lost against him, of course. But to be fair, Apollo, in that final series, Jaedong was in good spots, I would say, in all 5 games at points. So if he can recreate those good spots and try to play a little bit better from them, then he may be able to do it. He may be able to hold off this very powerful double-forged style that Stardust is so well known for.
And Stardust has used that style this very tournament, so I think 1 game out of the potential 3, we will see that. We will see that. Whether it be this game or not, we will have to tell.
I think you're right, Apollo. Well, we're going to have to wait just a little bit, see what these guys are going to go for.
Cybernetics core a little bit later
Yeah,
there.
this is a really late Cybernetics core. Normally you do not get the Zealot before the Cybernetics core because it slows it down so much, as we see there.
Well, what do you make of that then? Is he just not planning on, you know, doing anything aggressive? Does he take it a little bit slower this game?
Well, he has to be making 2 Zealots, right? He has to, doesn't he? No? Well, just a really quick Zealot?
And then a +1 attack right behind it.
Oh, okay, there is the second Zealot, because, yeah, that would just be really weird otherwise. So he's making 2 Zealots, getting that +1. He's definitely going to go out, put on some pressure. Do you think he's going to make a quick Mothership core as well?
I would say so, yes.
Yeah, I think so. You know, if you get 2 Zealots, a Mothership core combos with them very, very, very well. Takes a ton of Lings to kill that.
Well, Jaedong currently has 6 Zerglings out on the field. May not all be at the same location. But this Zealot is coming down the left-hand side, looking to get into that drone line, followed by another. There are the 6 Zerglings. 4 more are on the way here. As he may be anticipating something like this. He does see the first Zealot come in. There shouldn't be too much of a problem to deal with, especially with the Zerglings coming from behind.
Yeah.
Hello.
It looks like he's actually going to trap the Zealot. And here he took the shields off, so the Zealot can't even do good damage against these Zerglings. Kind of painful. You know, he delayed his tech slightly to get these 2 Zealots out, and the first one has not even done 1 swipe of damage.
And the robotics facility is following this +1 attack here. What are your thoughts on the robotics facility coming down?
Well, it could be for Immortals. That's definitely a possibility here, I'd say. And look at that, a Twilight Council. Are we going to see a second Forge? There it is, Apollo. Stardust with his own style, bringing it out again.
What do you think that Jaedong, upon seeing this, if he does send in that overload, which is very close to going inside the main base, how is he going to react to this differently than he did before? Remember, he lost to this style over and over in the previous tournament. What do you think he will build maybe to do something different?
I think the first thing that's going to happen is he's going to have like war flashbacks, and a chill is going to run down his spine because he's lost to this a lot of times before. But you know what? He's just going to have to make sure that he holds this as it comes out. It's going to be a lot of Zealots, a lot of force fields, a lot of Immortals. And you know what? I think the game they played on this map, he played fine against. He had a lot of spines. He went for massive amounts of upgraded lings, but he's already gone into roaches this game, so it's going to be a little bit different.
And he has the lair about to complete, and I would not be surprised to see the Hydralisk Den started immediately here to start getting those Hydras out. And they deal a lot of damage very, very fast. At this point, Jaedong with an Evolution Chamber now coming down will want to be starting that +1 attack as well as Roach Speed. But he is keeping tabs on everything that his opponent is doing here. No Hydralisk Den though yet.
Yeah, a lot of lings on the way right now. Of course, if he has a good group of speedlings out there, sometimes you can bait a bunch of force fields before they get around the map, and sometimes you can even surround a unit or two. There have been games when Stardust moves out before his last Immortal's there and rallies it behind, so catching a unit like that can be huge.
Well, we do have a couple of units getting warped in here. And Jaedong's going to see them very, very early with these Zerglings that are pushing forward. The Spire is the tech choice that he's trying to go for here. He's just now throwing that down instead of the Hydralisk Den. At the same time, Zerglings and Roaches do come in. He's picking off an Immortal here, and he's going to get a surround, a full surround on it. One force field comes in.
Oh my god, really good force fields going down. Looks like that other Immortal is going to fall. This one on the side falls as well. A huge snipe by Jaedong.
And Jaedong's got 28 Zerglings on the way as well. And well, these units do recall out just back home, just above the cliff there, but 2 Immortals going down. A very easy pickoff, and Jaedong's now sitting at 67 drones. He's got a lot of gas in the bank. He's got the Spire on the way.
You know, generally speaking, when you kill off that many sentries and Immortals, the any type of Immortal push is not going to work anymore. And with that Spire finishing up Apollo, he can just go Ling Muta from here. There's very little anti-air.
Well, Jaedong seems to be doing everything right in this series. 2 Immortals are back, but that would have been 4. The Zerglings do come in. They get a full surround on this army. Good force fields coming in with Zealots being warped in as well. Not too many casualties there for Stardust.
You know, he's killing off a good amount of units, but a lot of the sentries do go down, and the sentry energy overall does go down. So that's just going to make the next Ling attack very, very powerful. And 10 mutas on the way.
Stardust is completely oblivious. He's got an Overseer not too far away from the natural of Jaedong, but he hasn't seen anything. The Observer, hasn't seen anything. He's got no idea what Jaedong has.
Well, you know, 9 sentries and a Stalker. This isn't the Wings of Liberty beta. That's not going to hold off mass mutas.
No, it is not. And Stardust could be in a bit of trouble here. He still does not have a 3rd command center. Jaedong has a 4th. Mining gas from it. It's going to increase his gas income by quite a lot. Roaches do poke around. They do get forceful out, but pick off a couple of sentries if they can here and there.
Looks like he only gets 1. Not the most effective little Roach group, but the thing is, he can lose all those units. That isn't the big deal. The big deal is massing enough mutas here. And look, he's still trying to hide them.
And he hasn't seen them yet. The Zealot does not see. The Observer pokes in. And, just catches the couple of them.
He knows now. But still, this is not a lot of anti-air here.
15 Mutalisks with 6 more on the way. Jaedong comes around from the left-hand side here. Remember, these upgrades are at 2-1, so Stalkers and with a Guardian Shield around them aren't going to do too bad for themselves, but there's a lot of Mutalisks.
That's right, especially if you can get some Lings in there as well. And, you know, there's a lot of Spine Crawlers out, so some of these locations are not even going to be attackable for Stardust. This is very tough. He is completely all in here. This game is going to end very soon.
All right, let's have a look and see if we can break this now. Zerglings do make their way through. Going to get sliced up rather fast there. Mutalisk coming from behind, do pick off the pylon. Jaedong sticking at his Mutalisk count, around 21 with 3 more on the way. Sentries go down. The Mothership Core is going to get focused as well.
And he's just killing so much with these mutas, but the sentries and stalkers starting to pick quite a few off. Can he actually hold here? It looks like the mutas are going to kill off all the anti-air.
More stalkers are getting walked in. Jaedong starting to take a couple of losses, throws his Mutalisk in one big clump. Is he going to be able to do it? The supply count incredibly equal.
It is, but the Stalkers are falling a little bit quicker than the Mutas.
I don't know. There's 7, 8 Mutalists left, 5 more on the way, and
my
Stardust powers
God.
through.
If Stardust holds this and actually gets this attack to work, it's going to be amazing. The Mutas going back after those Stalkers. And with the Lings coming up, I think he has enough to clean this up.
But does he have enough to keep the reinforcements back, as there's quite a few probes at home keeping the reinforcements strong? The Mutalist count is thinning through, and it looks like Stardust with the Immortals and Zealots getting into the economy. Jaedong's pulling off his drones here. It doesn't look like Jaedong's going to be able to make the defense.
Oh my God.
And Stardust looks like he's going to be repeating history again in map number 1, as Jaedong has dropped considerably in supply.
He really has. He's lost a lot of Mutas here. We do have the Stalkers pushing forward. The Mutas coming back. He needs to kill all the Stalkers and have some Mutas left over, but Stardust doing such a great job. These upgrades worth so much here.
Yeah, and the Mutalists don't have any upgrades at this point. +1 attack is on the way. The Mutalist count only at 9, with more and more dropping faster and faster. There are only a couple of Stalkers here. This is incredibly close as one Stalker gets walked in per time. It's 35 supply versus 70, but surely Stardust can't lose this from this position.
I wouldn't think so. He's losing all his hatcheries. I've only seen Gosu User win from there, so this is pretty tough for Jaedong here, Apollo.
8 Mutalists. Jaedong doesn't have any income at this point, and he knows it.
GG.
Stardust picks